You knew it was going to be a tough test. Did that early goal, basically, was that an invitation for everything you worried about?
Yeah, it's clear that's not exactly what should happen, but it happened. So apart from that, it was the fight we expected. It was the atmosphere we expected, and but I loved so many parts of our game. Really, to be honest. So first and foremost, it's half time. We are 1-0 down, and we don't only play a second half. We played in our stadium, which is obviously completely different to this stadium here, and. Build-up was exceptional, counter-press was exceptional. What we lacked, of course, finish in the final third, I would say, to be clear enough. They defended with all they had. Their defending in the box was incredible, to be honest. So we had moments, we came through, and then we didn't hit the balls clear. But that's how it is in a game like this. When you are 1-0 down against a team like this, they only want to have this result, this kind of result. 0-0 would have been okay for them. And that's then difficult. And so we take it like it is, all good. Second leg, I'm looking forward to it.
Just a couple of things to Sadio Mane. Did you take him off at half-time because he was being targeted, or was he injured?
No, he was targeted, obviously, yeah, so that was clear. Sadio played a really good first half, and the only thing they wanted is to make sure he got a yellow card. So it's difficult after the game. We lost. That's not. I said for me we didn't lose. We had it's only half-time, so it's the score is 1-0. That's all. But you need to be really strong as a ref in this atmosphere. That was obviously not easy. Huh? So many things happened today. I think after 30 minutes already 3 players of them were on the ground just give me a little breath or what, I don't know. Nothing happened, and this was obviously the first yellow card. Got a striker from us in this game. I'm not sure they got even a yellow card. That's really funny. Yeah, so nobody to blame. How I said, I'm fine. We are 1-0 down, half-time. We have the longest half-time break you can wish for. We will use that and play again.
And you got a yellow card as well in your frustration, and your counterpart was dancing in and out of his technical area, possibly on the pitch at times, which is
my yellow card. I have no clue if Diego would have deserved one as well. I have no idea, but yeah, it was too much in moments. So, and there were so many clear. I'm pretty sure. What was it? A throw-in for us before they scored the goal. So and then on our side was the next throw-in was clear for us, and that I saw that better. That doesn't help to stay calm, obviously. And then they scored the goal. So how can that happen? But yeah, we're all human beings, make mistakes. That's it.
And clear up the injury to Jordan Henderson. That looked a bit worrying.
He felt a hamstring. I hope it was still precaution, but I'm not 100% sure. We have to see.
And your counterpart, Diego Simeone, is stirring up the crowd tonight. It's a big atmosphere. Are you going to...
minutes. I have to say, wow, but that's energy. Yeah?
Are you going to do that at Anfield?
I don't think I have to do it that much, to be honest. I hope I can be focused a little bit more on the game. That would be nice. Our people will be ready, I know that. And yeah, welcome to Anfield. It's not over yet.
Thank you.
He's looking forward to that return leg on March the 11th, isn't he? What about the decision then, Jason, to take Sadio Mane off tonight? Clearly it seemed just to protect him from missing the second leg.
Well, exactly, and you know, we're going to have a lot of possession at Anfield. I think we're going to need him. He is in good form, so it's important that you protect him. It was a big call, but one he probably had to make. It was one of them nights, and you know, I've played in plenty of them games where you do get frustrated, and I thought the referee was a little bit inept for the game. I think it was a little bit too big for him. He got wrapped up in the atmosphere and the ugliness of it, and kind of made a few wrong decisions. And as players, certainly on a Liverpool point of view, you know, when you're in that environment, it's easy to lash out, isn't it, when you get frustrated? You know, just do something a little bit petulant. And having been booked, you know, he would have got frustrated because things weren't happening for him. It would have been quite easy to have picked up a second yellow card with a referee that's trigger happy a little bit. So maybe it was the right as well. Well, we'll never know because we won't know if he ever got sent off, but you know, he needed to protect him, and that's what he did. As for the decision that Jurgen Klopp made, he brought on Divock Origi at half-time. How do you think he did?
Yeah, I mean, he's the go-to kind of man, Divock, at the moment in time, isn't he? If any of the front three come off, he's the one that you think that might get you that goal. He made a couple of good runs, a couple of poor touches as well. He's always, for me, he's always a little bit hit and miss, Divock Origi, and you can't help but love the fella because like what he's achieved. I don't know how else he could have maybe changed it, maybe brought on Oxlade-Chamberlain a little bit earlier and played him in that position. But I think the presence and the physical presence and the pace of Divock Origi, I think that was the right one to make. And I thought he did okay, Divock Origi, when he came on. But
it's always difficult, isn't it, for an attacking player to come on and ask him to open up something that's so...
Well, it's almost impossible,
honest. Yeah, you're trying to unlock something. It's kind of...
So how do they do it at Anfield then? Because they're going to set up the same, if not more negatively than they did tonight.
Well, you need a little bit of luck first and foremost. I think commentating on the game, I think we had a couple of balls coming into the box, and it was like ricochets. It could have gone anywhere, and it always kind of fell to a Atletico Madrid player, or it went out for a corner, or went to safety, or something like that. So you need a little bit of fortune and a little bit of luck. But I think just keep playing the way that they played, and the opportunities and chances, I think, will come. I think we saw in that second half that, and Jurgen obviously made his comment in his interview there, that he was quite happy with the way that they went about their business, the way that they played. I thought they pressed really well, the counter press, won balls in good areas of the pitch. But in saying that, Atletico, when they lost possession in the football, unlike a lot of teams who have got players further up the pitch, Atletico, when they lost the ball, never were really out of position, if you know what I mean. From a defensive point of view, they always had numbers back. They always had bodies behind the counter press, and hence the reason why it's almost difficult. It's always difficult to break it down.
Liverpool will tonight. Salah's opportunity was probably the standout opportunity. Liverpool will have one or two of them at Anfield, so you have to be clinical. I agree with Gary. Sometimes when a team is so deep and there's that many numbers, you do need that little bit of luck. They had it from the corner. That's the kind of little bit of luck. It just falls for somebody and you put it in. But I think the important thing is when you get them clear opportunities, and I think there will be one or two. Liverpool always create one or two. You have to take one of them.
All right, let's get some more. We continue to look back on Atletico Madrid 1, Liverpool 0. One of two games in the round of 16 tonight in the Champions League. The other one came in Germany, involving Jurgen Klopp's former club. And a good result for Borussia Dortmund as well. 2-1 they're beating Paris Saint-Germain. Both goals from the very talented teenager Erling Haaland. Either side of one from Neymar for Paris Saint-Germain. Tomorrow, Atalanta, easy for me to say, against Valencia. Spurs host RB Leipzig. Next week, the other English clubs in action. Chelsea play Bayern Munich. And then what looks to be a cracker, Real Madrid against Manchester City. Every year, Jason, we say it about Paris Saint-Germain, who seem to cruise through whatever group they're in and find it tricky in the knockout stages. Of course, just like Liverpool, they have 90 minutes to play at their own stadium, but won't be easy against Dortmund, because you'd fancy Dortmund for an away goal, probably. Yeah,
good young team, aren't they? They've showed it tonight. Haaland again. Wow, 11. That's 11 and 7.
Yeah,
that's phenomenal, isn't it? I mean, I've watched his second. The second's a cracker. You get a chance to see that later on. But yeah, Paris Saint-Germain away goal. You never rule them out with that front line, do you? You know, with the players they've got, Mbappe, Neymar.
Interesting, actually, because Neymar, it's his sister's birthday. You laugh.
No, I know what's coming.
It's his sister's birthday when they play back in Paris. And he never plays.
He's just always suspended, isn't he?
Well, he never plays on his sister's birthday.
Yeah, he never plays on her birthday?
No.
Well, that should be interesting, won't it? Yeah. Mind you, wasn't he at a party the other week and never played in the following game?
I think that some of those at Paris Saint-Germain sort of follow their own rules, don't they? Particularly led by him, yeah. Have you been surprised, Gary, at how well Erling Haaland has taken to playing at a higher level in terms of Dortmund rather than Salzburg?
I'm amazed, actually. I looked at him when he was at Salzburg. I have to hold my hand up and say, I didn't fancy him, to be quite honest with you. I was willing Manchester United to sign him, because in fact, I still don't rate him, to be quite honest with you. He's not my kind of player. He's not a player for me.
How many more goals is it going to take for him to be your kind of player?
Well, you asked me. I was just saying, he's not a player for me. But that's not to say he's not going to be successful. I mean, you can get it wrong sometimes.
Absolutely.
I mean, he's obviously got something, because the stats tell you that. But I kind of see where this is coming from. He was really when he come on at Anfield, he was a bit leggy, wasn't he? And it took a few to get into his stride. He obviously had a bit of pace about him, but it took a little bit for him to get going. And although he scored, didn't he? You know, he's just got this knack. I mean, the goal he scored tonight, the second one, he just gets himself half a yard. It's a lovely first touch, because he knows what he wants to do with it, onto his left, and then he just rifles it into the top corner. I
think he's gone to a club where he'll get game time first and foremost, and he's got a young manager, a really young, promising manager as well, that will get the best out of get the best out of players. So I think that's a plus for him, and I think that'll be a big help. And it's when you put Sancho in there as well. I think is it Sancho? Yeah,
Sancho's there.
Yeah, I think that's a big plus for him as well, because I think he's got a lot of assists this year, hasn't he? And goals as well. Most assists, I think, in the Bundesliga.
But it makes you think, like, why one of the big hitters didn't come in for him.
Well, there was a conversation that his agent wanted him to go to Dortmund because as Gary said, he knew he'd play. So at Manchester United, I'm sure he would have got a good few games, particularly now with the injury to Rashford. Yeah, I mean, but it smacks of an agent sort of looking after his player rather than just farming him out for money. Because if he continues to progress at the pace he is, then he will get a bigger move than Dortmund eventually. But it seems the right thing for his career at this moment.
But there's not many teams.
A bigger move than Dortmund.
Yeah, I mean,
you would argue that he could come to, if he keeps going like he is. I mean, a lot of Dortmund players end up at Bayern or.
The point is, if you look at the only team he's not getting in is City and Liverpool. Chelsea need a striker. Tottenham need a striker. Arsenal probably not, because they've got 2 decent strikers.
Arsenal need a striker, mate.
Well, Aubameyang.
Arsenal need a striker.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is Chelsea and Tottenham are crying out for a striker.
Tottenham only need one because Harry Kane's injured.
I
mean, that's
and Son. But like, why wouldn't one of them take a little dip at him at the price he was? What did he go to Dortmund for?
Good question.
His buyout's 60, I think, euro. I think now they'll be looking at him, which is cheap for what he's doing, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so I just don't know if there's something more in it.
But again, if you're his agent,
and United was the other one.
Yeah.
Well, they have a kind of fallout like with United, don't they?
Yeah. Mino Raiola is. But the argument again, if you want your young man as your, guy to play games, then you don't send him to Tottenham, because once Harry Kane's fit, he then suddenly sat on your backside again.
I think what he's looking at, and Dortmund, as you rightly say as well, have been not a feeder club for other clubs, but the opportunity is, if you do well at Dortmund, then you have another big move. If you go to the likes of Manchester United or maybe a Tottenham or a Premier League team and you don't do so well, then there's not really that big move away from there.
I know what you mean.
There's a progression, isn't there, if you go to Dortmund? I agree with you there, Rob. I think there's a progression.
What I don't... You got Frank Lampard, who's like all this within this youth, and yet it's been forced upon him slightly because of the transfer embargo that was on them. And then you got Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying, oh, well, I'm building this young team. Surely he fits into that ethos or that thinking philosophy. I mean, stats-wise, he's got to be the best striker in Europe for that age. Surely. Well, he is. so I just don't see why they haven't gone for him. Yeah. Tottenham, you can make that argument. I agree with you. When Harry Kane gets back, Mourinho's quite pragmatic. He might not fit into one of the 3 behind him, but I just don't know. There's something else. The Raiola with United, as you just said, is a good argument, but I just don't. There must be something more into it.
Well, we'll leave that chat there, because you both agreed with me within the space of 45 seconds or so.
Well,
I'm going to quit when I'm ahead. Another team who needs a striker, by the way, West Ham, really struggling in the bottom 3 at the moment. Of course, they're Liverpool's next Premier League fixture next Monday, 6 days away. Here's what happened the last time the teams met at the London Stadium.